We talk about culture like it's something out there, something we need to build, fix, or design. But what if culture isn't built from the outside in? What if it's carried? What if it lives in your nervous system, in the tone of your voice, the way you breathe, the energy you bring into a room, especially when things get hard? Welcome back to Sacred Disruption. Today we are going to talk about something I have worked with for over 2 decades, but in a way that may sound very different from what you're used to. This episode is called Culture is a Nervous System, and it may challenge what you think culture actually is. Let's begin where no one usually does, the origin of the word. Culture comes from cultura, to cultivate, to care for, to tend. So when we talk about culture, we are not talking about slogans or branding. We are talking about the energetic soil we tend to every single day. Culture is not what you write on the wall. It's how you behave when no one is watching. It's the energy you normalize again and again. And the reason so many culture change efforts fail, I believe, is because they try to create it from the outside in. You cannot build a coherent culture on a dysregulated foundation. Here is what I've seen over and over. The strongest cultures I've experienced didn't have the best strategy. They had the clearest field. They were shaped by people who could hold tension without collapsing, spoke truth without violence, modeled calm in crisis, and knew how to return to center again and again. That is what I call nervous system leadership, and that's what people feel, even if they don't have words for it. You walk into a room and sense if the field is safe, or if it's performative, or if it's disconnected. Before a single word is spoken, the body already knows. That's culture. Here is where it gets interesting. Sometimes I get a message that sounds like this. Can you help us design our company culture? Can you run a culture workshop? Can you help our team create stronger community values? And here's what I always say. Yes, but no, not the way you think. Because culture is not created in a workshop. Culture or a group session. Culture is created through your body, through how you lead, through what you repeat without realizing it. And then I pause. Because here is the sacred disruption. Most people want to install a culture. What I offer is the chance to become one. So what I actually do when someone asks me to help them build culture, I don't begin with a strategy session. I begin by sitting with the leader, the founder, the visionary, the one who carries the tone, and I ask, or I should say, I observe. What's the energy of their presence? What lives in their nervous system? What behavior do they model under pressure? What do they normalize, not in theory, but in practice? Because the truth is, you cannot create a culture of trust while living in a state of fear. And you also cannot cultivate resonance while leading from urgency. So we slow down, we regulate, we listen to what's incoherent, not just what's missing. We return to truth, not theory. And I never ask anything I'm not living myself. Here are a few of my own inner standards, the culture I've chosen to carry every day. I speak slowly, especially when things feel urgent, and I speak quietly, especially when the things get really loud. I don't answer messages or questions until I'm grounded. I protect my nervous system before I protect a deadline. I repair with my children when I lose presence. And yes, I do. And I repair immediately and without shame. I work in a rhythm that honors my clarity, not the noise. And I refuse to teach what I haven't embodied yet. And I let silence be part of how I lead. No words, just presence. These aren't rules. They are standards, as I call them, chosen anchors that shape the tone of every space I'm part of. That is the work. Not becoming perfect, but becoming coherent. And sometimes the most powerful culture shift happens in a single moment. Not because of what's said, but because of who you are being. This is how I work. This is why it works. It's not glamorous, but it's lasting. So I leave you with this question today. What culture are you carrying right now? What do people feel in your presence before you speak? Ask this question yourself and then go and ask this question someone who you trust, who you know will be very honest with you. You don't have to perform a new culture. You just have to become one. And if you're ready to explore what that looks like, I'm here, not to give you a framework, but to help you feel what's real and lead from there. Until next time, lead gently.